gonna plug them. Freaking Loki got a back. Freaking cold. I'm freaking cold. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna put a vest on. I'm gonna put a vest on because I'm freaking cold. Oh. I got a freaking hoodie on. I can't win. I really can't fucking win here. I knew I shouldn't have taken a shower. Well, I knew I shouldn't have washed my hair. Should have waited until morning. All right. Hi. I feel like I'm choking myself. Yeah, I feel better. Oh yeah, strep. I have strep. Yeah, I forgot about that. That's kind of been stressing me out because my doctor is out for a couple weeks, so I don't know what happened. So there's another doctor that's covering for him. And this morning he's like, your culture came back negative. And I said, the last couple cultures came back negative. So it's time to start looking at other things, you know? He's like, well, when you don't have a sore throat and you're feeling better, come into the office. Damn, someone's got a lot of regret. It was upside down. It's just the way it's looking at me. Come into the office and we'll see if, like, you're a carrier or something. And I'm like, well, how about we do some blood work? You know? And he's like, I don't know if we need blood work. And I'm thinking to myself, like, no, you gotta do blood work. Like, what the fuck? You know, I want a renal function. I want a ferret and an iron. I want a CMAT. I want a CBC. Like, let's go. I want it. Let's go. So he never responded. So I don't know what he'll end up doing. But for every culture, for every rapid to come in, and then for the cultures to be negative. I mean, it's good. Like, it rules out, like, MRSA and, like, all the other stuff, like, shit you don't want, right? But that also tells you, like, there's some type of bacteria in your body that, like, shouldn't fucking be there. Like, can we do a blood culture? Like, are you going to wait until I get really sick? So I'm a little annoyed and stressed out that he's just kind of like, do. So I have tomorrow off. I'm going to call first thing in the morning, see if I can get in with, like, a nurse practitioner or something and, like, kind of go over, like, some symptoms, because we really should be looking. Oh, that happened last time, too. So this officially has a crank, I guess. We really should be looking into other things at this point. So it is what it is. I'm feeling a little better, though. I'm getting a cold sore. Fucking hate cold sores. I love when I get a message. Time for dinner. I'll be up in a little while. What is it called? With the cold sore stuff, I take Valtrex. And I have some. And I haven't been taking it. And I just got out of the shower and I'm like, shit. And I can see it. I'm like, fuck, Courtney, fuck. Like, you knew you were getting one 2 days ago. That's how, like, occupied I've been that I didn't even find time to take my fucking medicine. It's just been bananas. I'm hearing the whole send me your location again, which is ironic. I was watching, like, nobody mentioned the name. You guys know who I watch every once in a while. And I struggled through watching this because I didn't want to watch it because right off the rip I was super fucking annoyed. And I kept getting pulled to watch it. You're not offended? What did I say? What did I say, Danielle? Hola. Oh, are you being sarcastic because no one said hi? I'm sorry. Hi, guys. Hi. I just bought Mabel little bunny squishy things. If you all have all something on the side. I don't know where you're going with that. You lost me. Didn't even notice. Are you talking about my cold sore? Cold sore. Oh. So didn't want to watch because right off the rip of something she said, and I just like all throughout the day I'm like, I literally just kind of had it playing in the background to see if I would pick up on something. So it says you and this person on your mind right now, next week. So this is her message, meaning for the next week, for like now into the next week. So I was like, okay, here's a message.
You know, sign. I'm gonna write, send me your location. And it's like, I don't know, if you know.
We all know me and her work with the same, like, Palladian council, but different grid work. So I don't know if that's going into this week for some of you. But there's a couple other things. I think she posted that this morning. But don't even want to get into it. Like, super annoyed with certain stuff in that situation, with how certain things are presented. Me and her for years have been going back and forth with channeled messages and stuff, you know. But we also, you know, we all have certain, we're all starseed families, we're all certain stuff. And so not all of the channeled messages will be the same, but they'll be similar. I'm not surprised with her. I mean, that happens a lot with us. We tell story, kind of telling the same story, but in a different way. But she's just working with a different grid that really having a hard time struggling with some of the stuff that she says and how certain stuff's addressed. But again, not my business. If Spirit has her saying certain stuff, then so be it. It is what it is. But that video really irked the fuck out of me. So there's that. So it's like I want to talk about it, but I don't want to talk about it. You know me. Oh, the shingles, that sucks. I had that a couple years ago. When I get that, I get it on my chest. I didn't even think. I think the first time I got it was, I don't know, like 10 years ago, and I was like, I didn't even know like a woman my age could get shingles. I thought it was like the older generation, or I didn't realize like it meshed with really anybody. So it's probably like 10 years ago. I don't know how I got it. So it is contagious. Obviously, they have a vaccine for it. Yeah, I'm struggling. Jen, don't get me going. You don't get me going. So it's not contagious? It has to be contagious, else I wouldn't have gotten it. Or why else would they have a vaccine? Oh, yeah, it's linked to the whole chicken pox thing. No, that's not true. I had the chicken pox. Did she mention that? She didn't mention the channel, though, right? Is it gone? I don't even see it. Yeah. Oh, she's just saying don't mention it. Well, yeah, because you know me, I feel freaking awful bringing it up, Caused by stress. You can't catch the shingles? You don't catch it? I don't know. Really? But I had the chicken pox when I was little. Is the shingles contagious? It's a reactivation of the chickenpox virus in the body, causing a painful rash. Anyone who's had chickenpox may develop the shingles. It isn't known what reactives the virus, though. But it's a virus, so any virus is contagious, I thought. It cannot spread from one person to another. However, the virus that is caused by the shingles is that varicella can spread from one person with active shingles to someone else who's not immune to the chickenpox. So you can spread it. It's just not like an air thing. So I guess that makes sense, especially for those who have never had the chickenpox or have never been vaccinated. But it does say if you have the shingles, you are contagious until the blisters have scabbed over. You're contagious to everybody until the blisters have scabbed over. If you get blisters. I don't remember getting blisters. Mine looked like they might have been blisters, actually. It was a long time ago. I remember it being painful, but it felt more like scratches. So I don't know. It's saying you can if the blisters are active and not scabbed over. I don't know. Everybody says different things. I mean, why would you get a vaccine if you don't need it? Like, if you've had the chicken pox, you've had that, or you didn't, or XYZ, say that. Like, well, I understand what you're saying, but if it's saying it's contagious if the blisters are open. You're saying, trust me, we share towels. I get that, but that could be your household. That could be linked to DNA. I don't know. But it says yes, you are contagious until the blisters have scabbed over. 10 to 12 days, 10 to 14 days. It is what it is. But they have the vaccine, so why would people get the vaccine if they couldn't get it? Yeah, all right, I get it. It's whatever. Yeah, there's a shingle vaccine. A lot of people get it. Like when you do a list of vaccines, like COVID, flu, shingles. Shingles one of them. I've never gotten it, but anywhoosie, yeah, she had mentioned it, and she had mentioned a couple other things, but it makes me wonder what type of grid she's working with, because when you say if you can't, and it's not even the likes, it's if we don't get so many, yada yada, I'm not going to continue. So she didn't get so many, and she decided not to continue a couple signs. To me, not a big deal. I know what all propensity is within our chart, so I don't need particular signs to watch anyway. I'm aware of that. But knowing, this is my issue, but knowing it's one of our highest rated videos, and for her to still say that and shut that down, she's either trying to pull spirits, either pulling in like egos and like, yeah, wiping them out that way, or pulling it towards where like people are like, all right, I had enough of, like, I can't handle it anymore, I'm just done, going in that direction. So do I think she's being guided? I don't. All I know is that I'm very fucking frustrated with the situation. And I personally think it's wrong. You know, it's one of your highest viewed videos. So to leave out certain ones and be like, well, if we hit yada yada, I'll continue. She don't say that on any of her other fucking videos. And this is her highest ranking fucking video. So yeah, I have a fucking problem with it. And it's starting to really piss me off. And I'm like, why? And I literally stopped watching her for a while. And I was like, why am I getting pulled to this fucking video? And I know because of what I just shared with you and a couple other things. But I don't need that type of confirmation. So if you ask me, it's spirit being like, just speak your fucking mind, Court, because that should be a wake-up call for you guys. I don't know how you guys are handling it, if for those who watch certain readers with certain stuff, but that shit has got me fucking like, what the fuck? It seems so ass backwards. So it's like, if it is a spirit thing and she is being channeled to say that and not just saying that, and I can say it like that because that's what I'm really starting to fucking feel, because I work for the same fucking council. So, and I know spirit can be tricky, but that part irks the fuck out of me. So, I don't know. I just sit back and I'm listening, and I'm like, okay, so we have the global ascension, we have this, we have that. It just doesn't make sense to state that shit. It just doesn't make sense to state it. Knowing it's your highest ranking video, and then like under the comments, like, well, you know what, we didn't reach this many likes, and it's like, well, you just finished a fucking video in 4 minutes. It doesn't matter if there's 300 people watching. Like, you gave 4 minutes to get 100 likes. Like, I don't even understand the fucking concept there. It just seems fucking wrong. It just seems wrong. So I don't know. It just, again, we work for the same council. So, I mean, I have shit. She has shit. We fucking say the same shit. Like, she's like, oh, constantly like, oh, go watch that video from last year. This sounds just like that video. Okay, so that's 1 year. So if you're saying it can resonate in another year, and I've had this conversation with you, if you're saying it can resonate in another year, so now you got the same person with expectations and false hope and all this other stuff for 2 years, but then you want to sit there and you want to fucking preach shadow work. I'm like, where the fuck am I getting lost here? Well, yeah, I noticed that too, but I don't fucking know. And I do. She's a great soul. So I don't know if the anger is like, I know she's being taken advantage of, or she's not, or she's just, let me get the likes. I don't know what the deal is right now, but and I do agree in the sense of, you don't need your own zodiac. You can listen to literally all the zodiacs. That's why I decided to do collective reads a while ago. And I adore her, but people change, and I'm kind of struggling with that one. I don't know if it's like partly my job to figure out why it's happening. I don't want it to be my job. Not my business. Spirit's like, though, it is your business, though, but it's not my business. And if we're working with the same council, why on earth? It wouldn't be a situation like you against her. I would never want it to come down like that. So I'm not really sure what's happening. All I know is that I really, really, really didn't want to fucking watch it. And like I said, I just kind of had it playing in the background. And like I said, I heard a couple things. It is what it is. I don't know. It's just really disappointing, though. It's really, really disappointing. It's your highest views. It's your highest views. So there's no need to do that shit. So it's either spirit weeding or de-weeding, or it's I don't know. I don't know. I really don't know. Anywho, I just gotta grab a bite of dinner. I don't even want dinner. I just know if I don't go up and get it, they're gonna be like, you're gonna grab dinner. I'm gonna put dinner away. You're gonna grab dinner. So let me go and grab dinner. Okay. Just don't mention the name because I feel bad. I mean, in all reality, I just played her video on her fucking voice. You can find it anywhere. But it's like at this point, I'm just like, I don't know if I worry about like repercussions in the sense of I think she has a phenomenal soul and we work with the same council. But I don't know how anybody can. It's almost like keeping some, like, it's almost like keeping the control. I know I'm allowed to have my opinion, but that's not the point. She was like one of the first readers. Like, that's not the point. You know, I'm very freaking opinionated, but it's like keeping control of a situation. And why does one feel the need to control that like that? Like, it's not even good control. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's not even good control. It's like I I don't fucking know, man. It just I don't fucking know. I don't even like shepherd's pie. But I'm not gonna lie, who made a really good shepherd's pie. I just want the hamburger because it's extra garlicky and I love garlic. So, you know I love french fries and sweet potatoes. And like double baked potatoes. I don't like mashed potatoes. So random, right? It's like liking tomato sauce, but not liking tomatoes or ketchup. I don't know. I'm just not like a potato girl. But sweet potatoes, yeah. But sweet potato all damn day. So yeah, I don't know what's going on there. And just is it a control thing? I don't know. Struggling with it. Because they know I don't need clarification. So I don't know. I don't know where to go with it, guys. It's just disturbing. And I shouldn't have put that in that garbage. No, I took one more bite of all the peas. I'm not big on peas either. But I love sugar snap peas. And all the other peas and beans, but nice fresh raw peas. I can get down. Cooked peas, not so much. But here's another fucking random thing. I like split pea soup. I can't fucking win. Potato, tomato. It's the other ingredients, you know. That's Dad's shepherd's pie. I'm not big on shepherd's pie. My kids like it. My sister makes a good one. She does it with gravy. I like wholesome meals like that, but like, I don't mind my food touching. It's just hearty. I don't know. I guess I don't like beef stew. I'll have like a little. Oh, it's now that I think about it. Well, you know, it's potatoes. It's the potato. It's a fucking potato factor for me because I don't eat the potatoes and beef stew. I just eat the beef and the onion and the carrot and lots of bread. No, I can't do all the zodiac signs right now. We were just having this damn conversation. Here's the thing, you don't even need the zodiac signs like that. Just legitimately having the same conversation. I do it for you guys every once in a while. It's just we're reading on the energy, like the overall energy of the planets, certain stuff, like it really ends up being the same shit. Do you notice, like, I don't, so I'll go like this, hardly ever, like once in a while, I'll do it, yada, 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 right? If I feel like guided or necessary. But if I'm doing this the entire time, no matter what sign it is, you're getting the same fucking cards and the same fucking message. And it's just kind of being told in a different way until I get to the end and I'm like, and that's the same fucking story. The only time you really find a difference is when you find the readers that split the deck and go like this. Yeah, you're going to find a different story. Of course you're going to find a different fucking story. You're splitting the deck. Think about it. And I'm not saying it's not okay to do that because sometimes I really feel the need to do that in groups of like 1, 2, 3. Not typically throughout the same reading. And if I'm doing that, it's only because the first one comes out and then I'm pulling the 3 behind it. So it's like, if you pull your own cards and you do it that way, you might consistently get the same major arcana. And I wouldn't even say it'd be consistent. But that's a whole nother topic. And I just heard with this deck as I'm doing it, rock, paper, scissors, shoot. So if someone's just fucking playing games and not to drive anyone fucking bonkers. How can you decide if the reading is meant for you? It typically just resonates with your energy. The reader. What the reader works with, what type of channeling the reader. It really does boil down to the reader. How it's read, how it's presented. I don't know why it goes down that way. I just know it does. So I did hear just something go off. Just kind of like, is it your story? Does it make sense? Does it resonate? Like a majority, like let's say like the last 5 years of me reading. I'm a healer. I work with karma.
I'm gonna leave my blanket and broke down here.
Okay. So I'm constantly reading that type of stuff. Another reason why I had to struggle and take a break. Reason why I had to struggle and take a break. Well, there's your answer. Spirit just, you had to struggle. So I'm here more on like a a healing basis, do new stories come in and out? Yeah. But I work a lot with past lives and certain energies and current energies and future energies and all that stuff. So it's also up to the reader to incorporate certain stuff. And then a lot of the messages are channeled. It's tough. I heard, were you the one that asked me, I think I saw it, asked me if I would do like a raw love? Yeah, I did see the Nepal plane crash. Yeah, sad. There's still something with windows though. I actually had a dream last night and I said, oh, windows in my dream and then pane windows.
I just switched the dryer.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Did you put a dryer sheet in?
Yeah.
Thank you. So we're still on the window thing.
I'm going to school.
You're going to school? I'm glad you're going to school.
What?
First thing in the morning?
Yeah, I'm not.
Yeah, I'm gonna make Hayden go too. It is what it is. He can use the study.
I don't have enough for him to say. I just told her I would be there. Even though it's a study.
I know, but he can use the study, so.
He can't use it. His grades can't change now. He starts new classes.
So none of these finals doesn't impact the grade of the semester? Of course it does.
Yeah, those do, but he's not going to study at home. Are you kidding? Here's something there. He's going to sit on his phone. There's nothing to do. But I want to go to school, so you can send him or not, but I'm not.
No, he's gone. I'm not putting you on the bus and then driving him an hour later.
Okay.
Love you. Yeah, like if Court does a reading for the week, like this is 16th, I'd take it from me, her, yeah, the whole tribe. Yeah. Yeah, it really does kind of go like that. It's because it's a collective read. It's for everybody. I'm not touching base on just one particular zodiac because the moon is constantly shifting. The planets are moving. Their energy is always doing something. It's constantly going into different signs. Majority of the time, we're working with the main planets that are either direct or retro. But the ones that are playing a big part tend to always come through. So another reason when you do the zodiacs too, if you were to be doing it like this, you'd be getting the same energy because we're all working with the same planet. So in a way, you know what I mean? Now, if you listen to other readers who don't do that, it's almost like they can give you the same story. And here's what gets me, because I don't think too many people click. I can give you the same story and read it a completely different way and tweak things. So it's the way they word things and kind of beat around the bush and how they read their cards, which is like, okay, that makes sense. I can relate to that. So what I do is I basically look for the main energy in what I'm seeing. Majority of the main energy is going to be the same energy, just nobody's really noticing. You know, no matter how many times you've seen me read, I can read each zodiac, and by the end of the story, it's the same gist as some of the other ones. And if it doesn't really play out like that, it usually plays out by element. And it really just depends. And most of the time when I get different elements that are done that way and they're very similar, well, they're very different, I should say, is because there's a transit or there's a void or there's alignment. There's something where there's a shift. You notice how, like, when the energy shifted and a lot of it had to do with Venus and Saturn and certain things. Venus really played, and Mars went direct. Venus, it shifted the energy of the entire collective, not just a zodiac, the entire collective. Now, if they have to do more shadow work, it's going to affect them a little differently. If the flowing and transcending with the energy and clearing and recognizing and accepting and certain stuff, they're going to glide through that a lot easier. So you don't necessarily need a zodiac red, because I just gave you a prime example on why the energy shifted. It's not because you were a Scorpio and it was a rise of the Phoenix type situation. It's that rise of the Phoenix had to have been partaking for months in order for you to even get there. So it really is the collective energy of what's going down. It's going to be somewhat similar. Now, when you find certain readers, the right readers, when it comes to you and only you, the stories will differ, but it's, if you really listen, it's more about the lesson that is being presented to you for you to pick up on. The lesson. We come to planet Earth for lessons till we get to like where we need to be in order to ascend and live a happy life and, push through all the bullshit. So it's the shadow side and your own weakness and your own desires and that type of stuff that get you caught up in everyday matrix. That's why we all have soulmates. Every soulmate is karmic. It's what you do to push through and ascend, and them on the same end when it comes to the two of you. If someone's going to sit back and play games and this and that, you guys aren't going to get too far unless neither of you had learned lessons. If neither of you had learned the lesson, you're still going to engage. The door was left open for you guys to argue or hook up or whatever the case may be. There's always going to be, if the two are not vibing at the same vibration, there's always going to be indifferences. Someone wants to be fed, somebody wants the attention, someone's ego is going ballistic, the other one's fucking sad. Like, the one that's kind of like sad and doing the work, trying to push through and move through, hey, is usually the one addressing the karma. Is usually the one doing what's best for you at the end of the day. And for whomever is part of your life is only going to benefit from you being honest with yourself. The energy will always fluctuate. Do I want a commitment? Do I want just a hookup? Do I want this? Do I want that? Do I want that kind of job? Do I want to go back to school? Do I not? Like, it's always going to fluctuate. It really boils down to your mindset and what you know you deserve and what will get you there. Because if you go backwards and you're like, it's just a little playing, or it's really good money, so, maybe a couple more months, you're just going to hold yourself up. Literally. And we still have Mercury too, and we still have Mars. Happy birthday to have its birthday. We still have all that playing a big factor. Mars and Mercury are going to get a lot stronger, so you might have multiple people come back. I just heard Ring Around the Rosie. So now you have Ring Around the Rosie and Rock, Paper, Scissors. So I don't know if the rock, paper, scissors is more like strategic and like you first. And then the Ring Around the Rosie is there's just no fucking growth and someone's just really hoping you step into something without even an explanation. So it's the stories can also be a little different because it really depends on your karma. It depends on your lesson, what you're picking up on, what you're not picking up on. And that's really how to succeed. What is that? So I'm not discrediting the readers that cut the deck and like, no, there's a lot to be said there too, guys. It's, you just gotta, you either have to have a connection with the reader and be like, oh, I really like him, I really like her. That makes a lot of sense. It's very hard to come across readers that can put aside a majority of their past, their scenarios. Like with me, I'm a healer. I work with karma, right? You learn through example. You learn through stories. You learn through this type of stuff. Like, we're all here to teach in different ways. Get what I'm saying? So I'm meant to share stories. I'm meant to experience certain stuff to share those stories with you. That's the difference between me and another reader who doesn't share stories. Maybe just read cards. I don't know. It's going to be different for everybody. I share. And there's a lot of shit I don't share, but there's a lot of shit I do share. I don't even share as much personal shit. Like, I will here and there, been there, done that, give you a prime example. But I still don't share. My personal life is still personal. But you guys will always get a glimpse into like a story. Like, oh, well, this was at one point I had this situation. I had that. You know what I mean? So it really depends on what type of reader you're watching. Like, again, I work with karma. I heal karma. I heal past lives. That type of stuff. The karma from past lives. I work with generational curses. That type of stuff. I can break that type of stuff. So, and we grow and evolve at the same time. And a lot of it is through storytelling or how I talk, how I explain my story. You know, if I'm motivating you guys, if I'm, it's really how it all works. So again, it really just depends on your reader. But I know energy is key, and the planets plays a big role. I've been telling people for years, like, I can turn a business around so fucking quick. Like, so quick. If I was to take everything and analyze the last 10 years of a business, their up and downs, when they pay raises, when they don't pay raises, I add politics into the situation. I add certain planets when it comes to breakup and makeups and get-togethers. Like, I'm telling you, I could freaking change their fucking company in a heartbeat. It's just so much work. And I've been telling you guys this for a long time for fucking free. Any of you guys got time, go do it. Go do it, because you're going to benefit them, you're going to benefit yourself, and you're going to benefit the corporation. And you go in, you do seminars, you speak, this is why this happens, this is why that happens, like, this is why people come to work upset and this and that. And nowadays it's like, oh, I really don't want to go to work because, you know, I don't feel comfortable. Like, the fuck? Don't even get me going on that, okay? So, that's why it's so important to preach and certain stuff, because people need to know what they're experiencing is normal, even though they think it's normal. But people need, it's not that they need your approval, but sometimes people speak sense into other people by the way it's worded. I can say one thing and somebody could relate. Another reader could say something and that could die any second. And you can't relate to the scenario. But if you go in and be like, all right, well, this is the energy and majority of it. This is why you shouldn't fraternize, or this is why I think you should be able to fraternize. Just fucking be smart about what you do and stay focused. And you're at work, you're at work. You got to be able to find that balance. People don't know how to find that balance because they were never taught to find the balance. So if you go in and you break down one scenario that every human being has been through and has dealt with, you're gonna, it's like enlightening somebody. It's like a light bulb, and it's like, oh, that makes sense, you know? And it gets them to change their own perception of what they freaking perceived in the first place and why they perceived what they perceived. So, I mean, there's so much you can, I mean, huge astrological transits happen around political debates, decisions, votes. The records are there. The proof is there. The proof is in the pudding. So there's that. Do I think you need the right person to present that stuff? Yep. If you go back, again, proof is in the pudding. Analytics, you go back to how many mess ups, screw ups, this and that. You got to determine who's right for your company and who's not right for your company. Not who plays the part and who doesn't, but this one's good with people and this, but no good for the company. People don't want to find that balance. They want to keep Tom, Dick, and Harry, or Karen, Felicia, and fucking Sue, because this one does this one and this one does this one, instead of finding one and one that work really fucking good together that can turn a company around. I mean, there's the same thing with fucking life. It's the same thing with life. But for some people, for some reason, people want to listen more about career and money and that type of stuff than they do with fucking life for some fucking odd reason. You know? So someone take that idea and run with it. I've been saying that fucking ever. Take it and run with it. The proof is there. You just got to be smart enough on how to present it and why to present it. You know, now a lot of companies will do like retreats, they'll do this, they'll do that, and they'll mention, oh, mental health, this and that, or, you know, statistics show. But true and false, but if they're not getting to the bottom of it and people aren't going in there and explaining like, hey, this is why this company is taking a break, instead of like, oh, taking a break. And it makes a huge fucking difference to have an advocate, and an advocate that knows what they're talking about and how to speak to certain people within certain branches of a business. Anywho, so I hope that explains, like, how do you know if the reading is for you? I don't know. So I can't even tell you half the time that these readings come in, and half the time I'm like, ladies and gents, do not hit this motherfucker up. Do not reply to this text message. I know better. I still know better. They still know better, and then fuck you. You know what? I'm just going to come and yell at you in your fucking face. Next thing you know, I'm at the fucking doorstep. Next thing you know, I'm fucking great sex. And the next day I'm like, what the fuck? What the fuck did I do that for? Because I came into the same issue the very next day, and then I'm in my head for a couple of days, and now I'm sharing energy with fucking who knows I'm fucking sharing energy with, and then they want to turn around and be like, why are you so emotional? Fuck you. I hope you could choke on your own fucking cock, you piece of shit. So eventually you have enough of that type of scenarios, and you just find your way out of the situation, because there's only so many games people can fucking play before it's fucking played out and you're fucking done. Because that's real life. If you guys have never been in that situation, you probably don't belong on my fucking channel, because you're probably not in my fucking story when it comes to certain shit. We've all done that shit. We all had our own weaknesses. We all wanted to feed our own fucking needs. We all wanted to fucking play house. We all wanted that fucking comfort. It's life. It's life. It comes to a point where how much longer are you going to do that? Because how does it actually affect you at the end of the day? Once you start realizing all that, life changes. And you could be doing that. I mean, I did that with people, stayed in a relationship for an entire year off and on, and maybe we only had like a couple intimate moments, or I'd hit them up here and there, blah, 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 blah. I found other things. But throughout that entire year, I was still healing. I was still working on me. I was still, working through karma, working on myself, there's so many different aspects of my life and that type of stuff. You know what I mean? So yeah, we have slip ups, we go back and forth. What matters is your mental state, and ultimately, how does it make you feel when something's said and done? Or something says something, so instead of being like, okay, well, I know he or she is lying, blah, 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 blah. So you're going to stay in a mental state for how long? Because you convinced yourself that somebody else has feelings, or you convinced yourself that somebody else is lying to themselves. Like, that doesn't benefit you either, right? That's why I'm saying at the end of the day, it's like tarot. It's the same shit. This was meant for you, to benefit you at the end of the day, and how you move forward. Eventually, of not talking to somebody for so long, you can read a freaking text message. I read a text message over the fucking weekend. Someone's been blocked on my fucking phone, but it still pops up on my fucking computer. And it's like 2 months later, and it's like, oh, it still hits the fucking heartstrings a little bit, but it's like, no, like, don't do it. Nothing's fucking changed. Like, not with him per se. When it comes to me on my end and how I feel, do I want to put myself in that situation? Am I going to tell myself it's going to be different because a couple months went by and this person's still hitting me up, so there's got to be something there? Like, this is where the tests come in, and it's not proven that I'm freaking a stronger fucking human being. It's not like that. It's at the end of the day, I know what's best for me. And yep, I know it pulls up my heartstrings a little bit. I get it. But that's because we shared a connection, because if the right person, the right connection will say the right things, put in the right type of effort. It's not, let me hit you up at fucking, 11:30 while you're fucking drinking and doing, like, no, there's stuff like that too you got to take into consideration. Even if it was on a different day and it hit me up and, not drinking or whatever the case may be, in the middle of fucking work, like, the right person will say the right thing or present something at the right time, and it has nothing to do with when they think the right energy is or this and that. It's when that person is ready to make certain changes in their life. You're gonna sense certain stuff, but this is what I'm saying. Like, the decisions before Mars went to redirect, like, where were you? What were you thinking? How long were you in that situation for? I was in the same situation for an entire fucking year. So just because there's been silence for 2 months, do I really think that a lot has changed? No. Maybe on their end because they're dealing with karma and this and that, but on my end, there's other things that I want to do in my life that I know does not make us compatible. I don't need somebody this. Like, I had enough experiences with this one person, even though lots of love there, to know certain things are just not going to change because it's that person's personality. It's XYZ. It's this, it's that. I personally know what I want in my life next and where I'm going. It's not that certain things can't be forgiven in words, scenarios, kind of how stuff plays out, but that's not really the point I'm trying to get at. The point is, I know what brings me peace. I also know at the end of the day, since that energy has been out of my life, I've been less stressed. It's one less stress. And I hate to say it like that, but when somebody's not willing to reciprocate and give you half of them when you're putting in half of you, that leads to problems. That leads to stress. That leads to open doors. And these people are doing it intentionally and giving you so much, so there's potential, giving you that little bit of hope to hold on to, giving you that little word where it keeps you fucking guessing. I'm done playing ring around the rosy. I don't need to continuously tell you I know what the fuck you're doing, like, because that's you, that's your personality, that's the way you want to play because of your own fear or your own ego. Shove it, go fucking kick rocks. I'm not gonna sit here and hold your hand while you fucking learn. No, I got my own fucking shit. I don't need to keep getting set up in these fucking situations because I feel bad for you or I'm fucking horny. Like, I'm done putting myself in those fucking situations. Done. Done. You know, that type of energy's got to come around. That's where you need to face yourself and be like, you know, can I do this? Can I do that? Other people come into your life and then it's one thing after another and this and that. And it's like, they got egos too. They're trying to test you with that too. And it's like, I don't got time for that shit. I don't got time for ring around the rosy. I sure as fuck don't have time for fucking ring ding ditch or fucking rock, paper, scissors fucking shoot. You want to be part of my life? Be part of my fucking life. But not in the way you already thought you would be part of my fucking life. Like, if shit don't fucking change, I'm just not down. It doesn't make you a bad person because you don't want to accept fear, this, not, like, you're not a bad person. I'm not looking at you like you're fucking awful. It's just, I know what I want and I'm not down to play those fucking games. There's plenty of people out there that don't play like that. So the energy is going to keep coming back around to like really test you to see like where you're at and where you're not at. Can you forgive certain people for certain stuff? Yeah, but that will be on your own terms and your own fucking time. And I really honestly feel like if it's a meant to be fucking scenario and something's presented the right way and there's a heart to heart conversation and you lay shit on the table and you push through all your fucking shit, you will find your way back to each other. Until then, if somebody can't fucking feel a little piece of fucking humiliation and this and that and fucking own it, fuck you, go stroke your own fucking dick. I didn't plan on stroking your fucking dick anyway. You got your own fucking hands. Fucking done. I'm out. I don't got time for that shit. I don't got time to be like, well, but like, yeah. No. No. If you can't match my energy and reciprocate what I give you and be fucking honest, then no. No. And some of these people I'm talking about are still great people. They're not for fucking me anymore. Like, it's not a big deal. It's not a big deal. So, do you want a commitment? Do you want this or do you not? Like, I can go up and down and be content the rest of my life and just have a lover and not be in a fucking commitment and just have that one person that has my back. I mean, there's so many different scenarios that people can fucking do. You don't need a man or a woman by your side to feel fucking safe or content. Do I personally want that in my life? Yes, eventually. So I'm not going to sit back and putz around. I think the right person will come in at the right time and everybody's going to have a little bit of karma until, the two of you kind of have like a face off or you talk about certain stuff. I mean, that's always going to be there with everybody because everybody's karmic. What matters at the end of the day is that two people are very honest and raw with each other when you talk about personal shit and certain shit's confronting you, lay it all on the table. Now you're open to build and grow as the future goes. And you can make your own decisions on what direction you guys are going to go in. You know what I mean? Like, but it's mutual, I mean, there's so many tricks to the fucking trade there, but at the end of the day, regardless of whether I want to be in commitment or not, or if I want it to just be like friends with benefits, but nobody's sleeping with it. I mean, there's, like I said, there's so many things you can fucking rule out. But ultimately, for me right now, if I'm going to put the work and effort into anything, there has to be some type of grounds for potential in the sense where I'm going next in my life. I don't really need a distraction. If I was just looking for a distraction, there's plenty of them. You know what I mean? But where I'm going in life and how I see myself, I want to be careful with who I share my energy with and who that person is sharing their energy with. So, I mean, there's a lot to fucking consider. I just feel like I'm out of breath now. Just talking, you know, but it's the truth, you know. So it's not about the past people or the future or the present. It's where they at with their own self-respect. Where are their morals? Where is their integrity? How do they treat people? What do they want? What do they say they, you know, they can say they want XYZ, but at the end of the day, how do they treat you? How do they treat others? Like if there's like a little inkling of this and that, and there's no point in sitting back and wondering, oh, why did that person say that or treat me like that? Like, and ain't nobody got fucking time for that shit no more. No more, no more, no more, no more. Ain't gonna fucking find time for that shit no more. The only time I'm gonna put effort into anything is when honesty and loyalty becomes a fucking thing these days. It's not even jump into a fucking relationship. Like, where's your fucking loyalty? Where's your integrity? Where's your honesty? You don't think I've never been humiliated? You don't think I've never been freaking embarrassed or ashamed or fearful? We all have, you know what I mean? So when you can find that type of energy when certain stuff is presented and it can be handled the right way instead of like ring ding ditch, then you guys got a shot, you know. But until then, I wouldn't even say it's a waste of your time. You're learning something. And then next, whoever bumps into you. Because I think we're not even looking. There's no, not even looking. It's that right person is just going to come in, and if something's reciprocated, then it's reciprocated, and you'll see where you guys will go. That's like when, like, oh, the past and this and that. Like, there's certain past, like, it's just, I think eventually after I did that read, like, I realized, like, if you end up having a conversation like that with somebody and you really honestly have a heart to heart and you lay everything on the table, I think you guys can forgive. But I think a lot of us that like, oh no, or this and that, like, we're putting somebody there. We already know who that person is or that we're putting there, but we don't even know if that's the fucking person, guys. We really don't, you know? And the new energy is going to always come in. It's going to come out. Once they realize you don't want the past, new comes in, but then it is still very similar to the past, because what have you learned? Are you just escaping? Is it childhood trauma? I mean, there's so much stuff attached to each person because karmically you're tied to that person. That person is in your life for a reason. If you can be honest and open with them, that's great. If they can't reciprocate, nothing is going to work. It's a never-ending battle. And I think the karma that's out there too, like if somebody feels bad, wants to apologize, wants to do that, like they eventually will. And if they don't, then so be it. I mean, at least you're living your life and you close the fucking door and you're not looking back. It's the ones who like wait, you know, oh, might be a few months, but guys, but this one's worth waiting for. Even those words alone, you don't wait. Unless this you and this person is having a complete fucking conversation about XYZ and you guys find a happy medium to something. But that, I think that would be far and slim, and it would be rare fucking scenarios I think that would even occur. So what makes you happy, as long as you're happy and you're following your own happiness and you're really doing what's best for you, ultimately your happy is going to keep crossing your path. And just because they have karma or you have karma, like eventually you guys are going to work through that stuff together. You know, it's not, hey, let's go back to this scenario because I've dealt with it for a couple of years and I know how to deal with it and let's see where this person's at. Nope. It's not like that. If that person really wanted to be in your life or make amends, that person would be at your door. They'd be opening new accounts to get a hold of you because they're blocked, but instead they're opening new accounts to stalk you versus talk to you. Do you see the difference where I'm going with this? If something's reciprocated and somebody really messed up and really wanted you back, it is like that, guys. They will be at your door. They would be hitting you up. They would be calling. Are they off doing their own shadow work somewhere and then eventually they'll hit you up? Maybe. But the energy that we've been reading lately is like, don't hold your fucking breath. You've learned enough karmic scenarios in the last 5 years where you shouldn't be fucking holding your breath for anybody right now. Because it's not about anybody else but you. But you. Do you know how many times, you know how many connections I have, past lives and stuff, like, oh, I'll end up working with this one, I'll do this one. Yeah, that probably happened in another past life. And could it come together this life? Yeah. But you can't sit and wait and be like, oh, it's going to work out, it's not going to work out. And then you got to think, like, what's their agenda? Like, there's so many different directions this conversation can go in. But at the end of the day, it really is you. Where are you going in life? Where are you going in life, Buttercup? You still going to own an ice cream truck?
Why did I say that?
It used to be your dream job. Mom, I want to own an ice cream truck.
For dinner at 6:30.
Grandpa made shepherd's pie, but you're not eating it. That's why I brought you home chicken. I'm going to make you dinner tomorrow. What do you want? Think about it. I'm going to make you dinner. I'm going to make you dinner. I'm going to make you dinner. You want pork? You want chicken? Want sloppy joes? Think about it. Think about it. It's Caden's night. It's ladies' night. Oh, what a night. What are these colorful cards back here? What are these colorful cards back? Ooh, yeah, I haven't used those in a while. Ooh, I haven't used these in a while either. Looks like Cheerios for dinner. Cheerios. I mean, I can make you a salad. I can make you eggs. I can make you tuna. I can give you fruit. I can make you grilled cheese. I can make you tomato soup. Cheese crackers, pepperoni. Nada. You got nothing? You got nothing? Can't hear you. What? Love you. So really at the end of the day, guys, honestly, what do you want? What's best for you? Where are you going? How are you handling your energy, your karma? How are you working with that type of stuff? How are you working with your own emotions, your own mental state? How are you working with that? It would have been really easy for me to hit that person up and be like, I mean, I could go in so many different directions. But I also know it's Mars versus Venus right now. I'm all set with that. I'm all set with that. Yeah, I am that person. I do base things around energy. I do. You know what I don't like? People that base their decisions and their motives around my fucking energy. That's what I say to that. Oh, you think I'm having a good day? Well, it might be the right time to hit that one up. Or how many people have I been with that try to change the story on the fucking board? Right back at that person like that, because at that point you're taking advantage of a situation. This isn't about you. This is my career. This is my passion. Why the fuck do you have a say what comes out on the fucking board or what you want to come out on the board? Fuck you and that person. I hope my guides give them a nice slice of their own fucking bullshit. You know? They don't got time for that shit. People act like I don't see that shit when I'm fucking with somebody and I know what's going on. They act like I don't say it. I may not read it. I fucking see it. I see certain stuff, and it's not because they're fucking magicians and it's on the board. It's because Spirit's like, here's a little bit of a fucking heads up, just in case you're a little vulnerable or just in case you're a little horny. Here's a little heads up, Courtney. Spirit got my back too. You know? Can't stand that shit. That's hard for me. People get to watch me and see me and fall in love. I got strangers fucking falling in love with me. Just shit like that. You know what I mean? Like, it's like they think they have the upper hand or the advantage, and this is the energy. So, you know, oh, why am I going to come in? Oh, the energy is saying I'm going to come in, and they feel it, and they want to come in. They want to say this, but they fucking don't because their fucking ego gets in the way. I don't got time for that shit either. I don't have time for that shit. Grow up. Don't fuck with me, my business, us, our tribe, the collective. You are not that fucking powerful that you can shift the energy on my fucking board, motherfucker. I read fucking karma. I will give you a big dose of your own fucking karma. So, again, we don't got time for that shit. Got zero time for that shit. Zero time for that shit. Grow the fuck up. Grow the fuck up, man up, ship out. They don't fucking do neither. They just keep fucking watching. She'll be back, but okay. You don't fucking know me. Oh, nothing gets me more. Don't you love the ones? Oh, I know you. You don't fucking know me. I know you better than you think you know yourself. The fuck I want to punch you in the throat. You don't fucking know me. Did you know I wanted to punch you in the fucking throat? You don't fucking know me. You know what I'm mirroring? Your fucking shadow. Your fucking ego. I'm done matching egos. I can match your fucking ego. I can do it all. I can manipulate just like you. I ain't got fucking time for that shit. How many times do you want to sit around the table and match somebody's fucking goddamn fucking ego? Aren't you fucking tired of it? I want to match the connection. I want the depth. I'm done with the bullshit. I've always been done with the bullshit. You just entertained for so long, you know? The last scenario that came on the board, like, the fuck is that shit? Got time for that shit either. So I have Italian. I am Italian. I am Italian. Italian, Norwegian, Sweden, a little bit. So no one's got time for that shit. Match somebody's fucking ego. How about you match my fucking vibe? How about you do that? How about you match my vibe? What's that song? You lift me up when I am down. It's I forget, Celine Diaz. I don't know. It's just one of those things where it's like you got each other's back, and when one's down, you help out, vice versa. You know what I mean? It's not manipulate. Let's not take advantage of the situation, or let's see what fucking Courtney's energy like. Maybe I should hit her. Maybe today's a good day to fucking hit her up, or maybe this is a good time to fucking hit her up, or this is like like, why are we being strategic? Why are we trying to control things? Have they not fucking met me? But yet they still think they could have the upper hand. Why? That just goes to show you don't fucking know me at all. Because I don't want you to have the upper hand. The only time I want like a submissive and dominant situation is like when we're being intimate, not when you feel like you're fucking jealous, or you feel like, you know, I might be intimidating or superior. Like all these men want fucking real fucking women and strong fucking women. The fuck you do? You guys are fucking lying to yourselves, because when you fucking find them, you can't handle us and you fucking go the other way and you turn it around on us as if we did something wrong, or you don't want a relationship, or it was just supposed to be like this. Fuck you. You're intimidated. You can't handle a fucking woman that can match your fucking energy. That's what that shit is. Fucking cowards. Pussies is what they are. Oh, I want to fucking, oh, do you? Do you? Do you, though? Do you? Because next thing you know, you're fucking competing with me. And for fucking what? Why are we fucking competing? What the fuck has gone wrong with fucking humanity? No, I think strong women are attractive until one comes in front of your fucking face and you all fucking, your balls all fucking shrivel up and you get fucking intimidated and you don't know what to say. And then it's, I don't even know what to say to you, or blah, 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 blah. And you always take it the wrong way. Oh, well, that was a fucking classic from somebody I was with. I don't even know how to say something to you because you just take it the wrong way. No, motherfucker. That's just an excuse. Aren't you done using that fucking excuse? We're going on 3 years of the same fucking excuse. The fuck? Because if the scenario was different, you'd be in front of my face right now having a whole nother fucking conversation than to tell me it's not like that. It's not like that. How many years you keep wanting to hear an it's not like that before you get the fucking facts? Or every time, you know, oh, all women want. Oh, what do fucking all women want? What do we all fucking want? Emotional connection? Don't you want emotional connection too? So don't sit here and be like, oh, well, fucking men versus fucking women, and we're designed and we're functioning and we're doing this and we're programmed differently. Yeah, but at the end of the day, guess what? We all have a fucking soul. So if you can't own at the end of the day that you want an emotional fucking connection with somebody and all you want to do is actually feel fucking safe, then that's your own fucking problem. Move on to the next fucking person that says the same fucking shit and is going to accept your shit ass fucking behavior and half of what you fucking give them. Have fun, because I know what they're fucking getting. Have fun with that. Because I want more. Oh, I'm not dating this person. I'm just giving you scenarios. I'm done dating people like that. And he's a great fucking person. It's just other people's fears and egos, and I don't got time for that shit. Even if I just wanted to feed myself, like I've considered settling in certain situations when I'm always like, don't be a settler. But sometimes I'm like, well, I got my own spiritual path. I got myself. I got this. You know, we do have fun, blah, 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 blah. You know, I'm very independent. They like their independence. Like I could possibly settle, but why? Why? And it's not because I know there's not anything more. It's just, I don't want to deal with certain shit. I don't want to deal with other people's comments. Like, there's always going to be something in the back of somebody's fucking head. You know what I mean? It will never work. You know, or it could work. You just never get that emotional connection. And I know me. I love depth. I love the emotional connection. And it's like all that stuff, like, oh, why can't you just have a fuck friend or have this or have that, blah, blah, someone's loyal and tell you the truth, or I'm dating this one, so I'm not going to mess with you, and blah, 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 blah. Well, there's no reason to fucking lie to each other, and blah, like, but at the end of the day, I think I was just saying that somebody at work the end of the day, like, there has to be some type of an emotional connection. There has to be some type of link, because, I mean, I don't know about you guys, but I want to feel some type of fucking connection when I'm being intimate with somebody or something. It's just even more intense. So when that feeling grows, it's going to, you're sharing energy. But if the other one wants to run from it and act like it doesn't fucking exist or something scares them or startles them, like, I don't got time for that shit either. Like, it's all fun and games. You're all feeling your emotions. You're all fucking flowing. And then either I say something or they say something and the whole fucking scenario changes. Like, whoa, slow your roll. You caught feelings. Oh, motherfucker, you caught feelings too. You caught feelings too, and now it's time to address them. So what are we going to do with these feelings? Oh, well, I don't want this and I don't want that. Oh, okay. Okay. Well, last person I was talking to, prime example, I don't want a relationship. Didn't even mention one thing about a relationship. Not one thing. Not one inclination. Not one. Not one. Not one. It's people's their own fear, their own conditional societal beliefs. Don't like it has nothing to do with you. If you notice and you can see something get bypassed like that just so quick without somebody really looking into what somebody's saying or really like, okay, I've known this person for umpteenth fucking years. You're telling me you can't fucking sit back and think about what I'm saying before you just throw it in my face like, oh, I don't want this, I don't want that. Because I wasn't even talking about getting in a relationship. It's like the first thing out of their mouth. Like their heart must flutter and they're fucking butterflies and they don't know what the fuck to do. So they just right back to fucking routine, right back to the same old cycle, right back to the same old shit that they tell every other fucking chick. Same shit. I don't got time for that shit. Zero time for that shit. I've known you for umpteen fucking years. You can't sit back and fucking think about how I feel or okay, I get what she's saying. Or, you know what I'm saying? It can go in so many different scenarios. You know? Eventually, one night stand or not, eventually you still keep sleeping with the same person. It's no longer just a one night stand. It just becomes a whatever situationship with no definition. And whenever a feeling or an inkling of anything shows up, it gets shut down. Like, who wants that? Don't you want to feel like you're connecting to somebody if you're being intimate or you feel like you have a connection with somebody? Don't you want a little bit of fucking respect instead of like, oh, it's just a situationship? Like, okay. Like, what? You know? It's just, there's so many factors where people just don't sit back for a minute and like really think about shit. They just, fears instantly kick in and this and that. And I'm not even the victim. I just sit back and I'm like, the fuck position did spirit put me in again? Gotta fucking figure this one out. Let me just fucking figure this out as quick as I can so I can finish this fucking job and move on to the fucking next one. That's where I'm fucking at. Or is this one for me? Which one is this? Only a matter of time if I figure that fucking shit out real quick. Whether somebody says something or doesn't say something is an answer. All together it's the same fucking answer. Say something or not say something. It's your fucking answer. The answer's there. And then it's what role are you gonna play? Because all reality, you don't gotta play a role. You can instantly take yourself out of that because you've already learned that lesson. Or you continue to engage with somebody who's just going to push you away, whether they want to be with you or not. Some people just want to test you to see if you really love them. And no one got time for that shit either. I'm fucking loyal to anybody I'm with, regardless of what. If we have a relationship, a connection, I'm fucking loyal to you. It's called fucking loyalty. It's called fucking mutual respect. No reason to lie about anything. It's just like I'm hearing some song where the good old days, like chivalry, shit like that. You know what I mean? Like, fucking. Don't let someone trick you because they hold the door open for you. They ain't fucking chivalry no more. It's something they watched off TV. Because if they listen to their great grandfather, if they listen to their father, if they listen to the right fucking people, we wouldn't be having this conversation in regards to them. No, would we? You'd be in a happy-go-lucky fucking relationship now. There's always going to be shit. You know, we just want to be with somebody who's going to put the effort into you. You're addressing something, make sure they acknowledge it and not just like, oh. You know how many times I was with certain energy where it's like, I'm sorry you're sad. How about you own your shit and say, I'm sorry I hurt you. But then would never want to talk about it again. Or if I brought it up, oh, this again. Oh, this again. I'm like, oh. And then I sit back and like, what am I not learning? What the fuck am I not learning? And sometimes it takes more time than we expect to get our answers, even though the answers are there. It's another lesson on top of like that one and that one. And everyone you come in contact with, you definitely have a connection with. It's facts. It is what it is. Everyone is a karmic soulmate. It really boils down to where they're vibing and where you're vibing, what you've already learned, what is actually going to be addressed. You know how hard it is to address your own shit? Been there and done that. It ain't fucking easy. And then it's just like not even reciprocated, or it's manipulated, or it's so fucked up how shit can go down. And I don't deal with fucking scumbags, guys. I really don't. There's just so many things and lessons and things I go through in order to learn myself and evolve. And then I got you guys too. But you've helped me through a lot of shit too. We've definitely have had each other, you know? So I'm not saying, you know, if something is work to dismiss it. That's not what I'm saying at all. I'm basically saying if somebody actually wants to put that effort in and they're being honest about something and you guys are having a heart-to-heart, it's probably worth working on. If somebody is not going to put the work in, they're just dancing around shit, you know? It's not your scenario anymore. Go in the shower.
Yeah.
Got a new loofah.
Yeah.
Nice. So, anywho. But it's just the energy that's out there. This conversation clearly needed to be had. I'm not mad at anybody. I'm not holding grudges. It's really, at the end of the day, where I go next. And where is that person in their life and how honest are they with themselves so they can be honest with me determines who I have in my life and who I don't. You know, mutual respect, mutual friendship, mutual, you know what I mean? So, and it's not really about like whether you're dating for years or you've been friends with benefits for years. It's not even really about the title. It's the mutual respect, it's the openness, it's the loyalty, it's the honesty of where you guys stand, what you're doing in your life, who you're sharing energy with. That's, you know what I mean? And I just feel like there's like no such thing as that anymore, no matter whether you're in a relationship, a situationship, a friends with benefits. Like, it's just, I just don't even understand what happened to like the loyalty. You just don't even, just be careful if you're dealing with somebody who can't even be honest with themselves. Be real careful on whether or not they can be fucking honest with you. Good people or not. It doesn't mean, just because they have a good soul does not mean they belong in your life, guys. Because if someone's not going to address something or bring something up or have a mutual conversation with you out of freaking respect or address how you're feeling or what might have went down or whatever the case may be, it's just going to hold you back. You. It's not about them at this point. It's about you. Is it holding you back? Is it making you sad? Is it making you angry? Does it hurt? Yeah, I'm sure it fucking hurts because you didn't expect somebody to disappoint you the way somebody probably fucking has disappointed you. What are you doing with that energy? How are you proceeding? Are you blaming that person? Are you taking accountability? You know, we all get into little things where we have to sit back and be like, whoa, even if I've been friends with you for 20 years or I've been friends with you for 8 years, it doesn't mean because I've been friends with you for that amount of length of time that it doesn't mean that you get to spend the rest of our lifetime being friends with me. It doesn't work that way. The right people will come in and out at the right time. Spirit will show you who's a friend, who's a foe. And if the friend acted like a foe, that person will come back and apologize and be honest. And if that doesn't happen, don't second guess why that person didn't come back because it was a foe. They didn't need to be in your life. It's not something you did or something. It doesn't matter if you're going through something or they're going through something. It doesn't matter if I've known you for fucking 8 years. I don't owe you jack shit because you've been in my life and we've had fun for 8 years. I don't fucking owe you nothing. I don't need to feel bad or guilty or hit you up and ask you what's wrong or why you treated me like that or why you said that. I don't need that. You don't fucking need it. You don't owe them nothing. Last time I checked, you didn't come into this world to please other fucking people. Unless you're a people pleaser. And then in that case, you my channel and you're just cross-watching and you can go fucking kick rocks in another direction because you're just here for the fucking wrong reasons. Anyway. I even had somebody have the audacity to even say to me once, like momentarily within the last couple months, like, oh, well, you've really matured or said something. Like something didn't really click until it clicked afterwards. And I'm like, was that a superior thing? Like, what was that? Are you basically saying you think I matured so we can hang out? Like, it didn't even click until afterwards where I was like, what the fuck did that person even mean by that? Oh, I've done a lot of growing up in the last couple of years because we haven't hung out and you don't fucking know me. So was I not a grown up 2 years ago? Because I'm pretty sure I was a grown up and handled my own fucking shit. So was that control on their end? Was that their own ego? Like, what was that? Like, and I didn't even pick up on it, and it's a good thing I didn't, because I think if I did, the scenario wouldn't have played out the way it did. Because the way the scenario played out had to play out that way. So if I had actually picked up on that the first time, yeah, it definitely wasn't meant to be a compliment, Shannon. Like, but I mean, when I first read something or saw something, it clicked. But then we followed through with a whole bunch of more texting, and you know what I mean? So like, but then afterwards, when I'm like putting shit together, like not over analyzing, but just putting shit together, I'm like, But again, it wasn't meant for me to like, it wasn't a scenario where it was meant for me to like pause what you're doing and address this. You know what I mean? No, I know. But I just think about like certain stuff and I'm like, I just said all the king's horses and all the king's men couldn't put Humpty together again. Like that, see what I'm saying? Like it's so childish. Like, was I supposed to pick up on it? Was I supposed to mention it? And then what would he would have rebelled with? I'm just like, so it wasn't really meant to be addressed. But then afterwards, I'm like, he didn't use the exact words, but it had something to do with maturity. And I'm like, so are you saying I was immature? Are you saying you're more mature? Like, are you comparing apples to fucking oranges right now? Because I'm pretty sure we've been hanging out for a really long time being mature or not mature, but the maturity has already fucking been there. Like, so what type of maturity did his brain go to? Like, see what I'm saying? Like, so there's going to be little factors you'll see, like these little risk factors you'll see when stuff is said and done. You'll be like, the fuck? But it has nothing to do with you. It really just goes to show you where somebody else is at in life is really what it's doing. And it's meant for you to see and acknowledge and see that shit when it's said and done. Like, yeah. That's when you need a list of yes and no's. Yeah. And it's like I didn't even feel a need to even go back in afterwards and look. I just remember it. I just remember it coming to me, and I just remembered it now. So like I said, I didn't go back in and overanalyze it because I probably would have given that person a piece of my fucking mind. But I gave that person a piece of my mind in regards to other things. Not about fucking maturity. We know where the fucking maturity lies. Don't you fucking worry. We know where the maturity lies. You know, and I'm not going to go back and forth and fucking battle and, well, what did you mean by that? Because that's what we call engaging. That's what we call the ring around the rosy. That's what we call fucking rock, paper, scissors, shoot. That's what we call that shit. That's why you got to bypass that shit and be like, at the end of the day, for realsies, like, where are you going next? Because how are you going to get to where you're going if there's another energy making you sad or pissing you off or competing with you? Does that sound like you want that person in your life? Do you really want to be saying good morning and good night to that person? Think about it. Oh, they're having a bad day. Who gives a fuck? How many bad days have you had? Was anybody there to hold your fucking hand? Right? So it is what it is, guys. It's not a big deal. It's fucking life. We learn. Not shitting on anybody. I'm giving you prime fucking examples of the fucking energy in reality of people who live in the fucking matrix. I'm not embarrassed or ashamed to admit this shit as if like I was stupid. No. They're matrix lessons. None of us are fucking stupid. We weren't fucking blind. It's what we chose to experience and what we chose for lessons and how we pushed through. It doesn't make us fucking idiots. Except there's people out there that never want to admit shit that comes out of my mouth. And it's like, why? Because it's taboo? Like, I don't even understand where some of people's fucking common sense have gone. Like, where's your integrity? Where's your loyalty? Where's your respect? Where's your fucking morals? Who are you? Which character are you portraying? Because last time I checked, you know, it's one thing if people want to fucking feed you a worker, you got a fucking persona, a fucking yada yada, a fucking character to fucking keep in pace with. But at the end of the day, when you got somebody that you care about and there's a mutual connection, there's something there. If you can't find that balance, you don't want that person in your life anyway. You just don't. And what about the other person I was with that got kids and always put their fucking wife first? And it's like, oh, that's my kid's mother. Oh, fucking, I don't care. I don't care if you got 10 fucking kids with this chick. I'm not second in your life. Figure it out. She's not first. First of all, you're first. Then your kids come next. And then you need to prioritize your fucking relationship. Put her where she fucking belongs and put me where I fucking belong. That's what you do. It's called fucking life. Oh, but that's my kid's mother. Are you sucking her tit too? You think I'm going to stick around if you keep putting me on the back burner? It's not like that. It is like that. I don't have to keep telling you it's fucking like that. How many times you gonna tell somebody the same thing? I think I did it for months. And then finally I stopped talking about it. You know what I mean? And then months go by and it's like you're exhausted. You don't even want to have the conversation that you once fucking wanted a year ago because the fucking dimwit doesn't have fucking brain cells to have the fucking conversation with you or the fucking common decency to bring it up knowing that it bothered you for the last fucking year. Bye. No explanation fucking needed. I hope that fucker's watching this show. I'll give him peace of my fucking mind. Bye. Grow the fuck up. Figure out what you want in life. Who belongs where. And not just your one fucking tracked mind in your fucking goals in life. Don't pull the same shit that separated you and your wife and think you're going to get away with me. Oh, did you think it was her problem? Did you think she's the one? Did you not want to take fault with your divorce? So did you think you were going to be the same fucking person that you were with her and thinking it was all her? You know, so it's just like, I'm telling you, there's going to be something with every fucking scenario, but it's just how many times you want to be that person. If somebody can't figure out like what they want with their life or where you are. Well, he used to say to me, why do you feel a need to be like placed as if he was placing me? Like, I just was almost like, what? It's not even about that. Like, I was just at the point where I was like, I literally can't even have fucking conversations with you anymore because it's just fucking dilly dally. Clearly I'm here because I'm feeding myself and I'm stressed out and I need to get out of the house. At this point, like, you're losing our fucking connection. There's nothing fucking there. Don't want to have the conversation with you anymore because you didn't have the fucking common courtesy to even sit down and bring up a conversation that you knew was fucking important. So if anybody wants to dismiss your fucking feelings and just thinks you're fucking needy or emotional, not your fucking person. Not your fucking person. That person can cry on their pillow at night by themselves because they didn't have the fucking courage to trust you. Not your problem. So if you're in scenarios like that, get the fuck out. Let them go learn that lesson with somebody else because they're not learning with you. I did that for a fucking solid year. A solid year. I'm like, what the fuck? You're lucky I like your penis. And then he thought that was going to get him back into the freaking picture. No, sorry. No, sorry, buddy. We have toys these days. I needed to learn to stop feeding my own ego with your penis. Okay? It wasn't magical. It was not magical. It was where my mindset was. That's where we all need to get. And I'm not embarrassed and I'm not ashamed. It's fucking life, guys. It's life. This is where we're at. We've all had these fucking relationships. We've all had fucking scenarios like this. Fucking own them. I didn't ask for your opinion. You want to judge me? Find another fucking reader. I don't sit here and fucking judge you. Are you fucking kidding me? Just be smart enough eventually to get out of it. I know very well, no matter where you're at in life, nothing I can say or do is necessarily going to pull you out of something. And that's for everybody on this earth. You learn when you learn, whether you learn 5 times in the hard way or you learn the first time and you don't repeat that lesson again. Like, it's where your mindset is at. So it doesn't make you a bad parent because your child chose to go in that direction or said this. Like, it does not work like that. A good parent is being there for the child when child needs to be there and you're leading them the best you can, and it's not hounding this in their ear, or they're doing this wrong consistently, or that's not right. Like, that's not what that is. Okay. I feel like the concept of fucking being a parent these days are so fucking ass backwards. You know, a parent is unconditional love. And there's just so much, and we don't even need to get into that. But if you can't love yourself and you don't come first, you got no business giving advice or being in a relationship or fucking sleeping with anybody or preaching to fucking whomever. You got no business doing it if you can't be honest with yourself. It's such a relief not to like be like, oh, I remember telling that lie. Like a little white lie turns into another lie, and then you don't even remember the fucking lies that are being told. And I can look somebody dead in the face and be like, you told me that lie last week. You don't even know what you're talking about. Oh, okay. All right. Come on, pass me the tequila. Lots of nights with tequila. Lots of nights feeding myself, trying to figure out where my life's going to go, what direction it's going to go in. Little expectation of things possibly changing. You know, things like that. We've all fucking done it. Own it. Who fucking cares? Don't you want to evolve? Don't you want to grow? Don't you want, you know? And I'm not even going to say don't you want better. Some people can deal with that and they'll be perfectly fine. You know? I just know me. No, I want an emotional connection with somebody. Like, there's nothing wrong with that. You know? I want to like really be able to count on somebody if I, you know, and it's like, it's eye-opening when you get let down by somebody that you really thought you could count on. It's mind-blowing. And then who knows what comes out of their fucking mouth. And it's at that point, it's all fucking white noise anyway. You know, it's more you getting past the disappointment. And it didn't even have to be potential. It was just you counted on someone who let you fucking down. Like that connection was there. You counted on them. You know? So I think that's the hardest thing for me through my journey is like that eye-opening energy. Because whether they come back or not, or how it plays out, I still had to experience that pain. I still had to leave the situation knowing like it wasn't a good situation. That's where we grow. That's where, you know, we don't got time to play games and dilly-dally and wait for other people to fucking hit you up and, you know, test your loyalty. You know, because in the read the other day, I forgot to mention that. Remember we had one of those reads where it was the 10 of Pence, the Queen of Pence, I think the 5 of Wands, is kind of how they saw you as somebody, but their fears are there too, because their fears is like, is this person a gold digger? Do they just want money? Do they want like, so, or do they just want to be a Susie homemaker? Is that the word? You know what I mean? Like, it's somebody else's fears, and we all have these fears, but it's fears that are being projected, and it's, you don't even know. You're just assuming that this person is going to be like the last person you met. So you're projecting the same shit onto somebody else because either they're part of that era or that's just how, you know, all women are shady or all men. Like whoever has that fucking projection has been hurt a lot, you know. And I'm not saying run, because some people, you're meant to be in people's lives, especially if you can benefit each other. If they need help, you probably need help with something. You guys can balance something out that you realize that you needed to work on too. So you really shouldn't run from shit. You know what I mean? There's been times I've even tried to address shit and it's to a point where then it comes back as, oh, well, it's yada, yada, yada. And it's like, okay, so all of a sudden there's no honesty. You got to tell yourself, you know what I mean? You got to be aware of that's what's happening. So that came in the reads, or there's a karmic situation that they still needed to wrap up, you know? But yeah, I mean, moral of the message is try not to run from something just because it's a fear. I know they're hard to address, but life's too fucking short. And if somebody's being straight up honest with you, like, wouldn't you rather the honesty than the bullshit? I mean, either way, either one's disappointing. Honesty can be disappointing. The bullshit can be disappointing. I mean, it could be, the lie can be they're saying that they're honest, but you know they're not really being honest because you remember having a connection. Connections just don't go away. I mean, they do and they don't, but I mean, it really depends on from, you know, A to Z and what life has been like. And you know what I mean? There's a lot of factors, but a lot of people don't want to factor in those factors. But you need to when you're making a decision to move forward, you know? So yeah, I wouldn't say run from all of them. I used to run from fears or not want to talk about it. And then there's been times like I'll address them and it's super fucking hard. When I do, I can't say it makes me feel any better, but if it's with the right person, that person will reciprocate and I'm sure I would feel better. So it does matter on who you share your energy with, guys. It really, truly does. I feel like I don't even need to read cards, but I'm gonna. Let me just go pee real quick. That was the pee-pee dance, apparently. And then we'll do a quick read. 7:15. 7:15. All right, guys. Honestly, I'm exhausted, and I gotta remember I have strep throat, and I've been talking since 4 o'clock this morning. So I'm just gonna throw some cards. I do have tomorrow off. And we'll read more tomorrow. But I do need to, like, I'm just sitting peeing and not talking, and my throat does hurt a little bit. So we will throw some cards, and then I'll be on Manana to do the weekly. I mean, in all reality, pretty much everything we talked about, I can almost guarantee is the energy this week. Some way, somehow, our discussions do factor into the energy, right? So really, at the end of the day, if you're just doing what's best for you, whether it hurts or not, and you got to push through this and you got a lot going on, you're super freaking stressed, and it's not, oh, why didn't they notice I was stressed? Or it's no. You got to focus on yourself. Take care of your own stresses, that type of stuff. So gotta focus on you. The right energies will come in if they're in alignment, guys. The wrong energies will come in even if they're not in alignment, but they're gonna play out differently. And I can't tell you which way they're really gonna play out, but there's been enough growth in certain scenarios where I really just think you would know. Honestly. Good person, not a good person. Not everyone you've been with is an awful person. You asked for that experience. What did you take from it? Because if the answer is still no, like, I get that, but there could be a no factor, but for what reason? Or there could be a no because there's resentment. There could be a no because there was somebody else. I mean, there's a lot of answers to that no, but you got to get down to why is it really no? So we would do, I just felt like we'll do a briefing. Look how hairy this is. So this is just meshing with the week. You know, everything we're talking about is part of the weekly read, guys. Okay. But we'll flip a few cards. Start where you are. The great thing about feeling deep and profound is earth-shaking love is that you can start with anyone. Love the universe. Start with where you are. That has a lot to do about self-love, love from spirits, ancestors, the love you have from family, friends, lover, whatever, whomever it is for you. But if you're gonna feel love, don't you? Shania Twain came in earlier. It was whose bed have your boots been under? She says earth shaking in that song. It's basically you can start with anybody. It really boils down to self-love. It really does. Start where you're at, who you're at, honesty, integrity. You got the Hierophant. There could be, so right off the rip, there's some change coming in. You got the Eight of Pentacles. It could be teamwork. It could be guidance. It could be help. It could be research. There could be an authority figure here. This could be a boss. You have the Four of Wands. It talks about your own security, your foundations, who you're aligning yourself with. Because this Four of Wands doesn't look so happy-go-lucky now, does it? It's like, damn, if I only made, certain decisions. But we all make decisions. So if we get to this decision in life, how are you picking yourself up to move forward? Because this is about your mindset. It is about your stability. It is about who you choose for partnerships and relationships and family and who you allow in your life. Because now's the perfect time to rebuild. Whether it's help from the town. I mean, I can take this in so many different ways. Whether you get a new job, you can always pick yourself up. You can get yourself out of this. It feels impossible, but you can. This is your stability. I'm hearing it's your moment. Who sings that? Lil Wayne or Eminem? You got one life. Lose yourself in the something. It's something like that. Two of Swords. So this is a twist. I don't know whose energy this is, what energy it is. It could be your own energy in regards to what you do next. Hey, buddy. Let's get one more. Because this is like, again, I keep saying authority figure, but it could be anything to do with your belief there could be a lesson here. I'm not really sure if we're quite there. But with this Eight of Pence, it's like having somebody to lean on. You're definitely being guided, whether it's a person, place, or thing. Well, you're being guided by a person or a spirit. So I don't know what that is, because that's not. Ten of Cups, Seven of Swords. Can't always trust family. I don't think you're sabotaging a family situation, or there might be a family member trying to sabotage your situation, or you're using a family member to sabotage a situation. Or you're making some decisions and being really quiet about it. So you might be making some decisions and being really quiet about it. Seven of Swords isn't always awful. This is in regards to your happiness. You could just be being really quiet about it. But we got the Devil. This combination is like lust, lies, sabotage, temptation. There could be a family dynamic that somebody is actually lying about. Or there could be a family member it's the Ten of Cups. Talks about family. Tell me about the Ten of Cups. Nine of Wands. Tell me about the Ten of Cups. I don't know if it's like really about giving up or like fighting. You got the Four of Pence, so it's like holding on, holding back, holding on tight, wanting to fight for it. It could have to do with your own happiness or this, but you have an energy external to you that I feel like it's trying to strip something from you. The Five of Cups, there is some regret. So if this isn't family, it's just somebody holding back on their own happiness. The temptation is there, but they're self-deceiving themselves. So I don't think that's you. I mean, it could be, but I don't think so. I think it's like somebody who like wants to fight for you or wants to be around you. They just don't know if they want to put the effort in, possibly. But see, this is what I'm problem. This is a problem, because I was just saying that, like, holding back on your own happiness. It's very foolish. It's very self-deceiving. But there's a lot of sexual temptation here, guys. So please be careful, because this is absolutely sexual temptation. Whether it's on your end or their end. It looks like their end, but it obviously can be on your end too. So be careful, because this could actually be a lesson. Somebody might, if there's any loyalty here or any self-respect, it's still kind of like they're going to test you like where you're at. So that's not cool. So there's some regret on how something went down, how somebody tried to control something, but it's loss of pleasure, right? So it is kind of a lesson for somebody, but it's like maybe they went after material happiness, Is stuff that's holding them back. They chose wrong. Who knows? Tell me about the Eight of Pence. So now it's kind of like not really going so great. Two of Pence. So tell me about the Eight of Pence one more time. So that's a shift, and it does bring you to the Ten of Pence, which I like. So I don't know whose energy that is. But you have the Lovers. So it's like voice of the divine. So something could be orchestrated, but you also have energy around that's like testing you, which is not kosher. So you have the Fool and the Queen of Wands. But this is about your foundation, your creativity, your flame, your happiness, your intuition. You're clearly on a new path. So it does look like you might have to, it looks like there's communication coming and you might have to make a choice here. But will it be sweet enough to tempt you? Nine of Swords, Four of Cups. So it's an offer, but it's like a blended pleasure. It's kind of going to stress you out, but this particular card talks of cruel energy, despair, in it for the wrong reasons. Ten of Cups at the bottom of the deck, which is the same energy here. So I don't see the greatest intentions here, so this is a little bit of a heads up. You got the Sun. You could be down with a Leo, or you're about to get your clarity. Got Justice with the Eight of Pence, so there's karma playing out here, or you could be a Libra, but you got two major arcana. You got the Magician right here. You got the Hermit, all major arcana. So you really need to go in and soul search here. The feminine energy is being asked to go within. What is it you really want? Because you're on a new path. You're on a new journey. So if you can't already make this decision, Spirit's going to put you in hermit mode. And that's not a bad thing. You might not see something. I don't think you'd be blindsided by this, though. And you got the Two of Wands. So needing to make a decision to go in a new direction. Is it worth blending this energy, which is basically everything I just talked about? Is it worth blending this energy? Because there's temptation here, but it comes with, it would be self-deception, it would be denial, but temptation's here like that, so I don't like it, but it's strength, so it's overcoming a toxic situation, overcoming some type of karmic situation you've already learned. There is some type of conversation coming in. But the devil's still lurking, but you have strength, right? So that's like another little bit of a warning. Tell me about the Hierophant. Something could have went down in spring. You could be dealing with an Aries, Pisces. It's definitely the divine masculine energy received. So trying to come toward you, but this is an energy that's like lacking. They're sad. There's loss of pleasure. Things aren't going too great. It's karma. You don't control how somebody's karma gets played out. You don't feel bad for how somebody else's karma gets played out. So you do have some type of offer on contemplation coming up, but there is something karmic tied. Well, I don't know if that's karmic because you have harmonious change with a lover. So you have, if you ask me, you might have a new lover. And if it's not new, it's somebody from your past or somebody that was divinely orchestrated to come into your life. It could be somebody brand new they become a lover. The Lovers is here, but it's like the divine choice, right? So it's like the divine has made a choice to bring somebody in your direction. Now, you're going to have to make a big decision here, and it is a big decision, guys. It's the Four of Wands, and to me, it could be commitment. I doubt it, but it's some type of stability, and right now your main focus is your own stability because you're on this new spiritual path. So this offer might send you into hermit mode. And if that's the case, that's okay. If you need to think about it, tell them I'll think about it. If it's, it's a no and something doesn't feel right, you're not even going to reply, or the person's not even going to be able to get through anyway, right? But it's going to come down to making a decision on what direction you choose, because it's kind of stressful, but it's some type of an awakening. So you're going to hear something where it's emotional. It's going to touch your soul. It might hurt. Let's just hope it's the truth. So this could be coming from an energy around you with the dark night of the soul. I don't think it's going to send you in a dark night of the soul. Sometimes a hard decision can send you into the dark night of the soul, but you wouldn't have just started this new path and them sending you into hermit mode to put you into the dark night of soul, right? So you're going to have to make a decision. Somebody is going to come back and try to stabilize something. The energy that's kind of lingering outside of these cards is vibration, ascension, twin flame. There I can peek and see the lesson. Ultimately, you're going to make that decision, right? Tell me about the 10 of Cups. You might hold off. It might stress you out. You might not know what to think. Is it worth it? Is it not? Is it your own self-sabotage? Is it? I don't think so, because not with temptation there. See, this 10 of Cups is actually like it's a new tribe. It's a new something. It's newness. It is going to stress you out a little bit. So you might think this person is deceiving you or lying to you. I don't think that might be your initial vibe, because if you were really having a conversation, I don't think it's going to be left like that. And if it is left like that, you're definitely not going to choose that. But you're strong enough to communicate. You're strong enough to hear this person out. You're strong enough to not respond or to choose to respond, right? So there is a guided situation here, but again, there's a lesson. Okay. It looks like the lesson's on their end, but at the end of the day, it's still a lesson on your end, even though it starts with them, if that makes sense. The lesson starts with them. You could have already learned the lesson, but it starts with them. It's coming back your way. Person, place, thing, work, child, family member, an ex, somebody new. It really just depends. But you are going to see something differently. And it really is going to boil down to you on whether or not you choose to communicate, whether or not whatever this lesson is that's coming back around to you. But whatever it is, it's going to wrap up a cycle. So that's good, because nobody wants cycles lingering, right? So we're going to leave it at that. It's basically everything I talked about from here and now, from the beginning of the read to now. It starts with them. It starts with this type of lesson. And it's clearly coming back around. It's just a matter. I just turned my flashlight on. It's just a matter of how you choose to perceive it, how you choose to what you do with it. There is something beautiful here with the 8 of Pentacles and the Justice. There's restored balance. There's harmonious change. There's something or someone that's guided into your life. You might just be a little weary, whether you're aware of it or not aware of it. Again, it might send you into hermit mode. If it doesn't, it's just follow your soul, follow your intuition, because you have the hermit and the Queen of Wands, which is intuition. So you could have an emperor, it could be a boss, it could be a father figure, it could be somebody older, it could be, you know, a public figure, entrepreneur, a father, somebody who, some type of I don't know. And then you have Temperance, which is the daughter of Reconcilius, and then you have the Universe, you know. So it really is balance, closing the cycle, like I said, opening a new door with or without, is the finality of something. I would say definitely use your gut with this one. It's a good change, whether it's sad and it's a hard change, it's still a good change in a sense where it's going to benefit you from making the right decision. The only holdup I think would be this with the Devil and the Ace of Wands and the Seven of Swords, but it almost looks like could possibly sabotage it, or whatever it is tempting, but it was meant to be tempting. But the thing is, you took yourself out of a toxic situation. You're not looking at something as karma anymore, because you were the Strength and the Ace of Swords. So you can communicate your way through this if you choose to. And again, the lesson starts on somebody else's end, and it ends with you and your decision. And that's the way it is. Okay. I love you guys so much, and I will see you tomorrow. Okay. And then I just the card kind of slipped as I was picking it up. And it says, it's not only about being right. Okay. In all tests of character, when two viewpoints are pinned against each other, when you analyze it, the thing is that you can strike or they can strike. You could be right or wrong, strong or weak, wise or foolish. But who went to the greater length in considering the other person's perspective? All right, two sides to every story. Start where you are, whether you're right or not. You know what I mean? So it's not about who's more right, who's more wrong. You know, it's just owning your shit and laying it on the table, like the discussion we had. But it's like, who went to greater lengths in considering somebody else's perspective? So somebody's going to want you to see something differently, and it's probably going to be a little bit of a struggle for you, because it's almost like you're probably going to feel like this person is trying to justify what they did, but I don't know if it's really like that, but it might be what you perceive. Okay. So, good little story. I love you guys so much, and I will see you at some point tomorrow. Okay. I love you. I love you. I love you. I hope you have an amazing rest of your night, and choose what's best for you at the end of the day. Okay. Flow. Have a good night, guys. We'll see you soon.